Going, you guys? May 1st, Sunday, 21 minutes past 9 in the morning. My son's coming up and he's going to rent a sander. And we're going to work on his house some more today. Yesterday, his fiance and me and my son all tore through there and bagged up a bunch of garbage from the previous tenant that left the house a mess. And so it's getting really busy all of a sudden because one of my answers to prayer, I had the nerve to ask God for a place to live without having to pay rent, if you can believe that. Without suspecting that my son was going to um, allow me to live in his house, because that had been suggested at one time months earlier and then it didn't come through, and I had pretty much discounted that it wasn't going to happen. And but at the same time, there was something about the idea that, of course, really appealed to me. I mean, the idea of actually being able to relax, and not have to work so hard at trying to make house payments or rental payments. I could maybe slow down a little bit. And that was kind of the idea when I left my previous employer. The reason I left there was because it was very plain to me that I wasn't supposed to be sticking stuff up my nose for somebody else's entertainment. And so it was very plain to me that I should just walk away from my job. I had been at this particular job for over 24 years, to be honest. And I had no intention of walking away at this point. I figured I would just stay there a little while longer. I was pretty happy with the place, and I'd been there that long, and I liked it, and the pay was decent, the benefits were okay, that kind of thing. But when it came down to their trying to tell me, you got to put this in your nose before you can work for us, I just had to say no to that. So I stepped out, and at the time I knew it was a big leap of faith, because God was just telling me, you're not doing that, but you need to leave. And I did, and I've been on the longest vacation that I've ever had in my whole entire working career. I've been off of work since last August, around the 8th, and I've used up all of my time that I had accrued to me over that amount of time. Plus, the Lord has provided an amazing amount of money whenever I needed it to cover bills. I just prayed, and $100 would come out of the blue from someplace that I didn't expect it from. And it's been doing that. God's been working like that all along. That's how it's been happening. To the point where I completely trust and have a ongoing dialogue with God all day long. And a few days ago, I was I'm tapping into my savings now, and I'm realizing it's time to get motivated and do something different. And if I'm not going to have an apartment that is free, it takes a lot of nerve to ask for something like that. But if I'm not going to have an apartment that's free, then I'm going to have to go get a job. So I prayed about the job, and shortly after that, my son is, and I'm looking at jobs at the same time, but not really seriously, because I'm kind of being told not to. It feels like I'm not supposed to look for a job, And I prayed about it, and the message I got was, don't worry about it right now. And to me, that went against everything as far as I'm concerned. I mean, that's me. I would worry. I would definitely. Where's the money going to come from? How am I going to pay the bills? What am I going to do with my things if I'm evicted? That kind of thing. And every time those ideas and fears came up, I just prayed and realized that was a sin. I'm fearing something, and I shouldn't fear anything. So I just gave it back to God. And every time I'm walking around in this kind of a peaceful bliss. I'm not worried about it. And that worried me. It worried me that I wasn't worried more about it. You know, this is a mark of a worry wart. But so this has been a growing and learning experience with my patients and everything else, and what I believe and what I believe God will do, and in the fact that I know God answers prayer. There's no doubt in my mind. I asked God for no rent, and He gave me a house to live in without any rent. So the next thing I did was I realized, well, this is going to take a little while longer than I thought. I might need a full-time job for a while. I don't really think I need to work a full-time job, but I don't, if somebody offers me a full-time job, I would take one. And I was starting to look into the the want ads in Indeed, the app Indeed. Started to look in there, and I have a few people headhunting me for previous experience and stuff, but as I'm looking at it, I'm like, it doesn't seem like anything, I should be doing. I don't think I really want to do that. I'm looking at it all, and as I'm like, well, I can't really be picky. So why am I feeling like I'm being picky when I really do need a job? And I prayed about it again. It's like, I don't even know what kind of a job is best for me, Lord. I don't even know, but you do. You know better than I do what I really will like when I get it. So instead of me asking you to grant my wishes, I'm asking you to grant your wishes. And basically I ask God, it would just be so much easier if someone that knew me or maybe thought that I was looking for a job would have a job for me. I got a feeling that you can pick out a job for me way better than I can find one. And I was sort of tongue in cheek with that prayer, but at the same time, when I stopped praying, I kind of felt like, okay, well, I was pretty calm about not even looking for a job, and I didn't. I put down the phone, I stopped looking at the Indeed ad. I kind of left it at that. The very next day, my daughter calls me. Dad, you still looking for a job? You see how that works? And let me tell you something about the job. It pays more than where I was before. Pretty decent amount more. And the benefits are great. The company is great. And I'm probably starting next week. And I don't know what to say, but thank you. I asked and I received. And I've discovered a whole new way of praying. Because I used to always pray for the things that I wanted and kind of secretly hoping that God thought those things were worthy to be granted, Or is that a selfish prayer? Is that something, is that something He doesn't need? And so when I came to the realization that I have everything I need, and everything I need is everything I want, so I have everything I want. And it's all because of God, because I keep asking and I keep receiving. And it's real as can be. And the only reason I think that I wasn't having answered prayers in the past was I simply didn't believe they would be answered. And what changed was I realized that there are so many promises in the Bible. Cast all your cares upon Him, that kind of thing, which works very well. But in all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy paths. And my paths needed direction, so I kept acknowledging. The only reason that I'm here is because God is leading me here. And I I keep acknowledging it. I'm acknowledging it now because it works. And it's not a special formula, it's just my relationship with God. It works. It's amazing. And I don't plan on changing it at all. This is the first real connection to God that I've felt my entire life. I can feel the Spirit all the time now. And I can't say that before. I can't say that that's how I felt before. I can't say that I ever got to the point where I ever had this much faith. And it just keeps growing. It keeps growing. And the more God proves himself over and over, like he doesn't need to prove himself to me, but he does. The more he proves himself over and over, the more I just simply trust that he's going to continue to do it. So beyond my wildest dreams, I have a house, not just a house that I can live in for free, but it has a 2-car garage and a yard that I can grow food in. It's a place that I can do projects in. It's a place that all my stuff will fit into. It's everything I asked for and more. So I'm just here passing on the fact that I'm very, very grateful. Wanted you guys to know that my prayers are being answered, and I appreciate everyone praying for me. And at this point, I have a job. It looks like it's going to be a new adventure. It's full time because that's what was offered, and I wasn't really sure if I was going to work full time or part time. And the question has now been answered. It's going to be full time, and I'm good with that. I'm really good with it. I'm excited about getting started, and I'm excited that I'm going to start with it in a new place with a new group of people, and they seem to be really cool people. I can't wait. So we don't have much time to be here, and the time that is left, I was praying that I would be able to talk to my son more, and that has also happened because it's his house and I'm talking to him. I talked to him all day yesterday while we were working on the house. A lot of things to talk about, a lot of things to catch up on, and all of it's really good. All of it's really good. I just wanted to, I hadn't posted in a while. I've been really busy lately, and I wanted to catch everyone up with what's been happening. All I can say is I thank God, and I'm so grateful and thankful for everything through this whole mess that's going on around us right now. Hasn't affected me. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing well out there. I've got to get around and eat some breakfast and meet my son across town here shortly. So I'm going to go for now, but you guys have an awesome day. Take care, and I'll catch up with y'all later.